The Alter Rebbe's Maimer on Parshas Noach, beginning with the words Maim Rabim lo yuchlu lechavos es ha'avo, that the mighty floodwaters are unable to submerge the innate love that we possess within. And the Alter Rebbe explains that the floodwaters, as was the case with Noach, and they're referred to often as Mei Noach, the floodwaters of Noach, were so mighty that nothing could subsist in their presence. And the Alter Rebbe compares our daily lives, working at the coalface of the material, physical world, the difficulties and challenges of making a living, the anxiousness and worry of maintaining ourselves and the family and thinking about the future. These are equivalent to the floodwaters that Noach experienced. But the Alter Rebbe raises an interesting irony. The floodwaters, after all, submerged the world. It seems destroyed the world. And yet we refer to them as Mei Noach, the waters of inner peace, quietude, equilibrium, because that's what the basis of Noach literally means. And we have to ask ourselves, how's that possible? So the Alter Rebbe explains that the floodwaters weren't per se a punishment, but rather they were a means of purifying a world that had become corrupt. The 40 days, 40 nights correspond to the amount of volume of water required in a mikveh, 40 sa'ah. And therefore, it was actually a consequence to purify the earth so we could start once again. And in a sense, we have to think about that when we speak in terms of the way perhaps that we use parenting techniques. Do we punish a child, or do we provide consequences for the child? The methodology may be no different. Deprivation of a reward, some sort of consequence. But it depends on the look on your face. Whether your face is there because you have an egotistic sense of the child didn't obey you, or whether you have the concern for the welfare of the child at heart, and therefore, even though it's tough love, you apply a consequence. Hashem applied tough love to the world, cleansing the world so it could start again in purity. Why don't we do a little meditative exercise that perhaps allows that to sink in to our consciousness in the way that we respond to everyday life? So gently close your eyes and just become focused on the air entering your nose. Breathe in and out through your nose. And feel the air moving down through the chest cavity area, almost down to the abdomen, so that you end up moving your abdomen rather than your chest. Taking a slow, deep breath through the nose, down to the abdomen, expand your abdomen, and now contract it to release the air. Think back to an occasion recently where you might have felt a need to apply consequences to somebody, to a child, to a senior. But you didn't recognize that as a consequence, but you felt emotionally charged to the extent that you wanted to get at the person. You spoke less than gently. Your body was tense. He may have even wanted to exact revenge with words or behavior. See if you can look at your face at the time, like a third party looking at your face, and what it revealed. Annoyance, anger, nothing beautiful. And now, transform. Revisit that scene with you speaking gently, quietly, and yet saying exactly the same words, but in a different tone and with a different intention. Not to exact revenge, but rather to assist by providing a corrective consequence that will assist the relationship, that will assist the other person. Spend a few moments seeing your face transform from one of annoyance and anger to empathy and compassion, while saying almost the same words. And this is something you can apply every day of your life. Always keep in mind that the waters of the flood were to purify the world in a global mikveh, to assist us, not to punish us. Gently open your eyes and the commitment to apply it in that manner.